Alright guys, welcome. This is your review video for your quiz. The quiz will be online on our math program for Pearson. So the best study resource really is that Math Excel thing that I sent you guys. And that would probably be what I would focus on the most. Second would be this. So here we go. Some of the questions you're going to see on there, they're going to be multiple choice on the quiz, so they'll look a little different than these, but pretty similar. Sketch a graph to represent the situation, label each section. Okay, so the level of water in a river rose rapidly. You always want to look for kind of keywords, so this one I say rose, so I'm thinking it's going to raise, during the storm, and then gradually decrease back to the original level. So we want to think about what two things are happening. I'm thinking about the level of the water in the rapid or in the river. I don't really know what else is going on, so my original guess is going to be time. Okay? Ooh, bad looking. But we should probably assume that time is going to be on the bottom. Okay? Remember, whatever I write, you also have to write down the question. So this would probably be the level of water. Okay? So the level of water in a river rose rapidly during the storm and then gradually decreased. Well, the level of water is going to start somewhere. It's not going to probably be at zero. So it probably starts somewhere and it's going to rise up during the storm and then it's going to gradually decrease back to the original level. I would say something would look like that. Over time, it's going to go up during the storm and then come back down during as the storm subsides. The volume of a ball increases as more air was added. Okay, again, we know we're going to have some sort of graph. So I'm thinking volume and air are my two things. Okay, which one depends upon the other? Well, I would say that the volume would depend upon how much air. So the air is going to be my dependent. We always want to put the dependent down here. Okay, usually. Right? Usually time is always going to be dependent. Okay? So notice the volume of the ball depends upon how much air I put in. The more air I put in, the more volume I get. That's how I know volume is going to be my independent. And the water level depends upon the time. Over time, it's going to change, and that's going to be independent. Okay? So the volume increases as more air is added. Okay, so as I get more air, the volume is going to increase. We're assuming it's going to start somewhere. It could start totally deflated with no air. So we could say, oh, but it might have a little bit of volume to it. But I would assume that as this goes, it's just going to kind of go up consistently to a point, and then it's kind of going to just stop. Okay, a ball can only get so big before it cannot take any more air on, and the volume will not increase anymore. You can then eventually maybe put some more air in, but the volume won't really change. If you ever get a basketball or something and you fill it with air, it could grow in size, but then it just kind of gets more firm. So I'd say it probably level out. Okay, so you have some questions like these. They'll have you a choice that you can choose from. Make sure you choose wisely. This will also come up. For each table, determine whether the relationship is a function, then represent the relationship using words and equation in a graph. Well, the good thing here is we're going to be talking about these, but they will most likely be multiple choice. Function. Okay, function. Remember, a function means whatever I put in, if I put one thing in, only one thing comes out. So x is, remember, my input, and y is my output. Okay, I put 0 in, I get 0. I put 1 in, I get 1. I put 2 in, I get 2. 8, I put 3 in, I get 12. Here is a good representation of a function. We don't know if it's a linear function, but we know it's a function. Over here, notice when I plug 2 in, I get 5. Over here, I plug 2 in later, and then I get 1. I put bread in a toaster, I got salmon. I put bread in a toaster, and I got a van. Not a function. Okay? So this is not a function. So this is not going to work out. Okay? Not at all. Okay? If it's not a function, we can't really do an equation for this one. We might be able to get an equation off here, but not over here. Okay? So this is not a function, we know it's not linear. Let's take a look at this side's linear. To see if it's linear, my growth should be constant. Notice, as I move up by 1 each time over here, I should have a constant growth on my right. If I don't have a constant growth, it's not linear. So I go up by 4, I go up by 4, and I go up by 4. Notice my growth was constant. Okay, so these were the same. If this was 4, 5, 6, not a linear. So it goes up constantly, so we know that this is a function, and we actually know it's also linear. Okay? If we tried over here, first of all, very bizarre how we have this written out, but we'd find out that this doesn't even stay consistent, okay, as we'd like, because this throws it off. So this isn't even a function, we can't even say anything about it, okay? So we've talked about a function, we've represented a relationship using words, it's linear, this is not. An equation can be written. Let's go ahead and write an equation for this. Well, when x is 0, y is going to be 0. Okay. When x is 1, we get 4, 2, we get 8. It appears something's happening to x to equal y. What appears happening is I think it's getting multiplied by 4. And we can check this. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. 1 times 4 is y. 1 times 4 is 4. And 0 times 4 is 0. So this is going to work out. So here's my equation. Again, I would love to put an equation to this, but it's not a function, so there's no equation that will satisfy. Okay? Let's continue. Alright, a couple questions on this one. First, I want to know, is it a function? Is it linear? What's the domain? And what's the range? Okay, so we have 2 more problems like this, but I'm going to just use FLDR. Okay, function, vertical line test. We can draw our pencil and draw lines through it like this and see, does it hit more than once? Okay, notice it hits twice here. So that means I had one input value, say -2 here, and guess what? This isn't going to work. So is this a function? No. Is it linear? Definitely not. Linear means it would be straight. Domain. Now this one's kind of tricky, but the domain is going to go from this point here. I didn't give you a sign here, so we can't really do domain and range on here because I didn't put a chart. So we're going to go ahead and we'll put in a number for now. We'll just say that this is at 5. So our domain is going to go from 5 to negative infinity. It's going into the negative infinity. So we're going to say x is going to be less than or equal to 5. Right? Isn't that true? This could be a negative number, anything. X is less than or equal to 5. The range, this is going to go up and down forever. It's going to continually go out. So my range is going to be all real numbers. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, function. Do my vertical line test, and it passes. Yes, this is a function. Is it linear? Definitely not a straight line. Domain. Domain is going to go on out forever in each direction, so this is going to be all real numbers. Okay, and then range. We have to have a value here to cap it off. Let's give this value 10. So my range is going to be, okay, y is going to be less than or equal to 10. So it can be any value less than or equal to 10. Here's our last one. Okay, function. Is this a function? Does it pass my vertical line test? Yep, that's a function. Every input has one output. Linear? Yes, this is actually a line. Domain. It goes on forever on the x's. All the x's are going to be covered, so this is all real numbers. Range. Up and down is going to go on forever as well, so this is also all real numbers. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.